jab, uppercut, leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss, now you counting stars. Should've practiced more, should've hit the mask, get out there more. Claim that you're the best. You gotta show me, son. Actions over words, baby boy. Is you real or what? Talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports,
What's good, everyone? Shout out to the hottest chat in the MFN game. A-side, 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 A-side official. No negotiation needed, period. You already know where we at with it. First in the building. Hill is on deck. Salute WCS. I heard today that the WBA created a new weight class comparable to the WBC Bridgerweight. Hey, you ain't lying. And I got my reaction. I have my review, brother. I'm definitely gonna review that. I'm gonna speak on it for real, for real. Shout out to Carlos in the building. What's good with it, Carlos? WCS salute. Put this up here. Salute to the hottest chat in the MFN game. Salute. We A-side, 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 A-side official. No negotiations needed, period. Appreciate you, dog. You know what I'm saying? You already know what it is, Mike. LWCS, I guess the WBA need to make the money back. They will lose consolidating the WBA regular and WBA super at all weight classes. Hey, man. Hey, you on to something. I'm going to talk on it. I'm going to speak on it for sure. I'm going to speak on it for sure. Jessica the Queen, what's good with you on deck? I see you. Bruce Gas OG, what's good with you? I see you on deck. So let's get down to the obvious. I want to first start off. I'm gonna get the I'm gonna get the Rondon first. Okay. As you already know, it's already on the schedule. You know, Ryan Garcia, 23 and 119 knockouts. You know what I'm saying? He's going in there against a hard-hitting Oscar Duarte, 26 1 and 1, 21 knockouts. Well, supposedly, there's a collusion going on within Golden Boy to allegedly, to put an opponent in there for Ryan Garcia's downfall. Now, I'm not saying this doesn't happen in boxing. It is some back alleyways. It is some private conversations. It is some grimy, slimy stuff that goes on in boxing that's not in the best interest of the boxer. We know that. Is this one of them? Man, the way Oscar De La Hoya's been acting and B-Hop's been acting, Ryan Garcia finds himself in a dilemma, a pickle. He finds himself not in control of, pretty much making demands. See, I can understand how a fighter selects to bring up the night that he stepped in there with somebody like Gervonta Davis and made that money? He did. He had a grand night in there with El Chinchecker himself. But the conversation and the attitude would have been way different if he would have won. If he would have went in there and gave Gervonta his first loss, no matter how he got it, if he would have been able to give Gervonta Davis his first loss, and then the conversation, the whole mood would have been different over there at Golden Boy. Shit would have been golden for Ryan Garcia, man. It would have been golden. It ain't no way in heck he would be going through what he's going through right now. Now, I'm about to break something down to y'all that you may not have heard yet. I just want your opinion because I know I'm talking to the hottest chat in the MFing game. I just got something to ask. His trainer is Diddy James, right? Stay with me. Stay with me now. All right? We're about to ghost ride this topic. His trainer is Diddy James, right? My live stream is about weighing the options. Ryan Garcia's options was to go over to Diddy James, right? Check this out. I'm about to drop this icicle now. It's just about to melt real quick. I need y'all to put y'all minds together and give me some feedback for real. I need for y'all to give me some feedback on this now. So, Anthony Joshua went over to Diddy James. And when he stepped up out of that fight camp, that's the heaviest he's ever competed in his professional career. You were talking about Anthony Joshua, heavyweight, former unified champion. That was the heaviest he ever fought, y'all. Stay with me. Stay with me. That man weighed in 255. 255 when he fought, I believe it was Jermaine Franklin, right? 255. 255, right? Today, Ryan Garcia weighs in at 143, and Oscar Duarte weighs in at 142.8. All right? You know both of these fighters are coming up from 135, but one is weighing higher than the other. Ryan Garcia. And the word is, supposedly, he couldn't make that weight all the way down to, 140 or below. But peep this out now. This is the same guy who was complaining about Gervonta Davis having a 10-pound rehydration clause. You know what I'm saying? 10 pounds. And says he regularly walk around at around 145, 146. But him weighing in at 143 don't make any sense. Somebody's lying. Especially when you're coming out of another Diddy James camp. We're talking about fighters that have just started to come over there. They're coming out much heavier. Anthony Joshua and Ryan Garcia. What in the hell is going on? How are they coming out of Diddy James camp? And you totally understand what weight classes are for. And your fighters that are just stepping into your camp are coming out heavier, man. What is up with that? How can Ryan Garcia be overweight? They putting the liability on him. They say he's the one that wasn't in top condition to make the weight. Not Oscar. You know what I'm saying? Not Oscar. Oscar was good to go. But so supposedly, they made an agreement to come in at whatever weight they can make. And then that's what you see right here, 143, 142.8. But how is that possible? Why aren't fighters making weight over there? I'm talking about why are fighters coming in heavy? Why would Ryan Garcia come in heavy in his first true fight camp with Diddy James? Why would Anthony Joshua do 2 fights and leave Diddy James and come in the heaviest he ever came in his career, and he still didn't look any more spectacular than what we've seen him before? Weighing the options. What are the options in boxing right now for these catchweights? Have you not been entertained by all the catchweights? What the hell is going on with all these catchweights? Everything's a catchweight. Like, catchweights basically is a protective measure, in my opinion, um, especially for champions, because they don't have to defend their belt. You know what I'm saying? They can just do a catch weight. You know what I'm saying? We just seen Jamar Charlo and Jose Benavidez catch weight. Don't have to worry about anything dealing with the belt because it ain't on the line because it's a catch weight. So how's boxing going to? Is boxing going to put this on a regular scheduled program, and this is going to be a normal format and protocol now in the sport? Please don't insult me and say catchweight's been around for a long time. I'm not saying that. It just seems like catchweights are more evident now for no damn reason. Only because what's going on, man? I mean, are these fighters not being paid enough to get a nutritionist to drop the weight that what they supposed to? Is there something in the water? Because when I was growing up, we used to drink tap water. All right. Today you can't drink tap water because it's not healthy for you. So fighters have to factor in buying the best water, you know what I'm saying, to drink and get over that way. For real. I'm being serious. Back then you weren't personal water, you drinking tap water, it was all good. But anyway, is weighing the options in boxing to present more catchweight fights? You know what I'm saying? To make it easier to continue to put on fights instead of just canceling fights? Because I think back to Jahaz Tucker's fight when he came in overweight, and they tried their damnedest to get his opponent to freaking fight. They was offering extra money to get him to step in the ring, and somehow, some way, that opponent fled the scene. No. Somebody made them aware, hey, you know you don't have to fight, you still get paid, right? You don't have to fight. Boom, he was gone. You know what I'm saying? Road runner. They didn't want to fight. You know what I'm saying? Where was the catch weight? I'm not trying to just throw Jahai in the conversation, but I happen to be there, you know, like, how is all these catch weights all of a sudden happening? And no one's really even looking at, like, okay, something's going on to the point where boxing seems like it's switching up now. They want to continue to have these fights, so they're gonna have some type of communication. They're gonna have to have a mediator, and they're gonna start putting on these fights, even if the fighters don't make weight. You know, yeah, you're gonna get get some money to reduce out your purse. I get it, but more and more now, I think, due to the inflation and the economic strain, I believe that boxing is going to start putting on more and more catchweight fights just to keep the fight. You know what I'm saying? Something's changing for us to continue to see these fights. No one knew it was going to be a catchweight between Ryan Garcia and Oscar Duarte, bro. Nobody knew that shit. What's going on, Alexander? I see you in the building. Foul play on deck. Salute to you, brother. You know what I'm saying? Nobody knew this fight was going to be a catchweight. So since no one knew, the post weigh-in banter was they're believing that Ryan Garcia was off, and they didn't really want him to cut the rest of the pounds he had. I wonder why he wasn't, if that is indeed the case, I wonder why he wasn't in shape for this 140-pound bout. Because, when he fought Gervonta, he was giving him a pound, 136, and he couldn't hydrate above 146. He gave him 10 pounds rehydration, and he was crying about that. So, and pretty much he had said he'd walk around 146, 147. What was going on with this? I mean, what was going on with this? You had ample amount of time to drop the weight. And as far as everything that's on his mind right now, I look at it like this, bro. I don't never question faith in anyone who's saying anything about God and everything like that. To each his own. Whoever you worship, the supreme being that you devote, your faith to. I get it. But also sometimes with everything that's been going on here, right? Boxing is a tough sport. Life can be tough. Sometimes it can seem like a sport because especially if you're on the level of some of these boxers, you're not just competing in the ring. You're competing outside the ropes too. You're competing with a lot of other variables that that be having you on the ropes sometime. You know what I'm saying? You be trying to beat up those demons, and I don't want to be this Grinch and sit up here and say that Ryan Garcia is basically drowning in some personal issues that may affect him going in here against Oscar. I'm hoping both fighters go in here and get this fight. On the highest talking point period, when people say, "Oh man, that's what we needed to end the year." This what we needed right here. We needed Garcia, Duarte. Man, they gave us a hell of a fight. We love that. We wanted to be like Oshaki Foster. You know what I'm saying? We want that fight to be like Oshaki Foster. That was bang it out. You know what I'm saying? Kenneth Sims Jr. I mean, hell of a fight. Hell of a fight. You know what I'm saying? Not to mention we got Floyd Schofield on the fight. On the fight card. I can't wait to see that. But I think Ryan Garcia is going to bring out a more aggressive style, but better defense to try to prove to the people that he does have a mean streak in him. See, for Ryan Garcia, I told you all when he started to change over, right? I told you when he started to change out the white shirt and the bow tie. That's what he felt he needed to do to fight Tank, to draw in the black crowd, the black fight fans, bro. Ryan feels that is the demographic that he needs to tap into. So you saw Ryan shed the image that he was portraying, you know what I'm saying, the clean boy image of the black bow tie and white shirt that he was wearing on Mike Tyson's podcast, talking all that shit, right? Till, getting him a chain. He had a special chain, custom made. Then he went and picked up some tats. He got that ink drop. Then he started wearing sweaters, shirts, and stuff like that, and really started trying to blend in with the culture. You know what I'm saying? And since then, he hasn't stopped. That's the way he is now. That good boy image, that silver spoon image Garcia that was up here making all the videos and shit, he want that to go away. So now he don't dress up as much at all anymore. He wears sweaters, he wears shirts, jackets, shit like that. He don't wear the blazers and the tuxedo shirts and the black bow tie, looking like he's about to be a bellhop at the goddamn Hyatt Regency. No, that's not him, bro. He's changed up his whole scheme now. But I'm curious to know, is he feeling a state of depression that he just can't find his niche? Like Ryan Garcia is trying to fit in. He gives me that vibe that he's trying to fit in, y'all. That's what Ryan Garcia's giving me. He's trying to fit in, but people haven't taken him serious yet. Why? Because he needs to win. He needs to win with a big name. His resume is mediocre. Period. You can talk about how Oscar don't want you to lose against Dono. Nobody's thinking about no Dono, bro. People was thinking about all the capping you was doing. You know what I'm saying? How you say, "Oh, they can speak to my attorneys. I'm not facing Devin. I'm not facing Devin. Hey, I don't care if I'm the interim champion. No, I'm not facing him." He said he was gonna face Tank. No, pull it out of that shit. Man, he was on record as just being the highest ducking fighter in the sport. And then I guess he had to go through some shit. He said mental health and all that. Went back. Then he came and said, "Hey, I want to fight Tank now." So if you would have went in there and went the distance with Tank like Isaac Cruz, people would have respected you more. Seriously. Because goddamn it, Isaac Cruz, when he went the distance with Tank, you could have thought he dropped Tank every freaking round 1 through 6. You would have thought that he was goddamn giving the people a show like mano a mano. They was both tapping each other. It was a Donnybrook. It was one of the best lightweight fights we've seen since Teofimo Lopez and Vasyl Lomachenko. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you would think that with Isaac Cruz. But Esau went the distance, primarily because he's shorter and he got very solid defense, and he loads up too. Esau Cruz and Ryan Garcia is somewhat similar fighters. Esau Cruz loads up on the right hand a hell of a lot, y'all. Ryan Garcia loads up on the left hand. Esau Cruz is much shorter in stature, much more compact, and also he's defensive responsible. As you got Ryan Garcia, he loads up on the left hand a lot, and he places himself in an overcommitted follow through with his left hand, and he's vulnerable for a counter shot with Tank Davis, and that's what he loves to do. Now, could Diddy James correct that? Who knows? Who knows? Who knows what Diddy James can do? I just know right now his stable is looking a little janky. You know what I'm saying? His stable is looking a little janky. And I'm curious, like many others, is to know what's going to happen with Ryan Garcia. You know what I'm saying? I'm curious to know what's going to happen with Ryan Garcia. It's a lot of people that don't care, really. But I care, man. It's boxing. I care. I'm curious to know how this fight is gonna play out. Because Oscar, man, something about Oscar, man. I don't know. It seems like he's serious, man. It seems like he's there for a reason. You know what I'm saying? He's there to shock and give Ryan Garcia his freaking second loss. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, bro. You can never know with boxing. You know what I'm saying? This is playing out as if they don't like Ryan. They love Oscar. They're hyping him up. You know, he's going to be the bad guy in this scenario based off default of the promotion really supporting him better, more than they doing Ryan Garcia, who's supposed to be the more popular guy, the one who's made the most money. But it just seems like he made $30 million, man, and he's still angry and miserable. I think RES spec is what it is with Ryan. You know what I'm saying? RES spec, respect is what's going on with Ryan Garcia. They're not giving him the respect that he so desires, man. And you know, even the crazy part about it, more people, I'm gonna be honest, I think more people give Rolly respect because of, you know, how he act, and they just give him passes on some shit. But more people would want to take a picture with Rolly, in my opinion, because he's just always talking shit and nothing seems to faze him. You know what I'm saying? He can go in there and get knocked out and tell people, hey, I was winning the whole fight. You know what I'm saying? I was winning the whole fight. I'm the only one I'm to do that with Gervonta Davis. I'm the only one that goddamn beat him up like that. He's confident in what he's saying. And then with Barroso, you know, he comes back around and jokes and say that old motherfucker can hit. You know what I'm saying? He was joking around with it. Even though he know he was freaking gifted the opportunity and gifted the result in that fight. It was wild, man. But we'll see how it plays out tomorrow. We'll see how this all plays out tomorrow, man. Seriously. Make sure y'all tune in, you know, next week. Jahal Tucker, one of the most exciting 154-pounders out there. You know what I'm saying? That division is stacked. But be sure to tune in December 9th. He will be going 10 rounds with Francisco Varone. Professional fight. Okay? He dropped his last one, but he's looking to go in there against a number 5 ranked middleweight. Number 5 ranked middleweight who's coming down to 154. To be honest with you, I don't know why. But it only ups Jahal Tucker's stock at the end of the day when it comes to freaking quality of opposition. The Q, Oscar, quality of opposition. He goes in there, have a superb showing. It's only going to increase his stock for a potential fight in the future with potentially Xander Zayas or anybody that's over there. You know what I'm saying? Because to be honest, a lot of this, in my opinion, you know what I'm saying, it seems like he started to feel this heat and to feel this type of canopy over his head when he walked into the press conference and did pretty much what Demetrius Andrade did to Canelo Alvarez. You know what I'm saying? Called him out, let him know he want that fight. And Zaya's response was like, I'm not trying to fight you. I want to end your career. Then he went in there and beat up one of Zaya's sparring partners who competed as high as 177 pounds. And it was one of his best showings. I mean, that fight was so entertaining when it comes to boxing and all-out fireworks, man. That was one of the best fights that I've been ringside for. Real talk. To see how it played out, to look into the faces of both fighters, to hear the conversations that was going on in both corners, and to see the smirk that Nico Seknishvili had coming out in the second round at Jahai. And just, looking at how Jahai was on a whole nother planet at the time, y'all. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't really listening to the earthlings. He was listening to people that was outside the stratosphere or something. He wasn't caring to listen. And when you got a fighter, and this is no bullshit, when you got a fighter like that's willing to be in the zone like that, locked in, right? Not listening, but going out there fighting the way he fought, that's a talented fighter, bro. That's a dangerous fighter. Because most of the time they say, hey, man, you need to listen to the corner. You need to pay attention. You need to do this. He was absolutely locked in to Nico. After he was hurt in the first round by Nico, and Nico came out smiling to my, yeah. People think people can't speak English. He said, yeah. He commenced to beating the brakes off of him. And every round he came back from the end of the second, the third, the fourth, fifth, he wasn't listening to nobody except what was in his head. And he wasn't just fighting no one-sided fight. He was fighting forehead to forehead, chest to chest. When he wanted to box, he boxed. It was a magnificent fight. I ain't gonna lie. Shout out to Team Tucker, man. Best wishes to you going in there December 9th, man. Dude is a problem. You know what I'm saying? And truth be told, man, he did have an injury in that last fight. You can see it in his tempo. You can see it how he wasn't even turning up the gas on this Nico Flash. And look, they probably knew he had an injury. That's why they didn't want to take the rematch. That's why they didn't want to take the rematch. He wanted to get that one and scat. He had the scat pack on. You know what I'm saying? Nico had the scat pack. He said, no. Going back over to Puerto Rico with this bragging rights. But listen, you're not gonna look that well if you don't ever rematch him. Because no one knows who you are. You came out of nowhere. You fought Jahai Tucker on the come up. You got the win. You was jumping all over and everything like that, but you didn't want the rematch. I get it. Jahai them is gonna have to chalk it up, continue to win, because one blemish on your record doesn't determine who you're gonna be in life in this sport of boxing. So y'all stay tuned to that. All right. Y'all definitely stay tuned to that. So recently, with all the medias going around, let me just say, boxing is just, it's a lot that's going on with boxing. It's going through another phase right now, I believe. When it comes to the YTC with these promotions, it's going through a different phase. It is. It kind of make you wonder, like, with boxing, why can't we find out any word ahead of time? Why can't we find out in a timely manner so we can speak on it? You know what I'm saying? Let's just say the rematch between Spence and Crawford was March, April. We already know the rematch is here because of the contractual agreement, right? Look, I'm thinking from a common sense standpoint. And I asked people in the chat to kind of help me out with my second before last topic, and nobody put anything. I told y'all was the hottest chat in the MFN game. I asked y'all for y'all input, man, and y'all didn't even say anything. When I mentioned Ryan Garcia and Anthony Joshua coming out the heaviest out of Diddy James camp, I didn't get crickets in that mug, but it's okay. He said Ryan Garcia had some success in the Tank fight, but Tank has never endangered throughout the entirety of the fight. True words. True words. True words. I agree with that. Back to the obvious. I'm always saying to myself, like, I can see if the promotion is making, drafting up schedules and stuff, because they just don't do this month to month. You know what I'm saying? That's just not the way it works. They just don't wait till the first of the month to tell us, that they're drafting up a fight card for this month and we got to wait for it to come out. No, they're doing this way out. They're making phone calls. They're getting this together, everything. Pre-planning, proactiveness, right? But this Errol Spence and Crawford fight is pretty much something that was contractually agreed upon. My biggest question is, why don't we know the date already if it's a contractual agreement? Then I see Derrick James out here, and he's talking to, let me go back to it. He's talking to someone on social media, a media guy. Hold on, where did I see that at? And Derrick James says something that's very, very puzzling to me. They was asked about Spence being in training camp, and Derrick James says Spence's head was okay, because they kind of asked, the situation's going on with Spence, how's he doing and all. He says his head okay, but he's not back in camp yet. And I said I thought for sure that Errol Spence is going to leave Diddy James. And he should. In my opinion, I thought he should leave and go try something new at this point in his career. Because I just don't think Diddy James has the curriculum to go about trying to figure this out if he don't want to watch film. Of course he's going to watch film of the first fight. But it was so lopsided that when he watches film, he's going to have to first correct something that Spence, a lot of what Spence was doing for the majority of his career with Diddy James. First of all, that is the magnifying glass. You have to go in there and correct certain discrepancies that you yourself was teaching Spence, showing Spence the whole time, because it wasn't broke, so you didn't never try to fix it. So first of all, you're gonna have to correct that. You're gonna have to correct that first and foremost. Then you're gonna have to tie that into what you see, what type of holes you see, and what Crawford was doing. What would be a better way to approach the rematch with Crawford? Should we change up the tempo? Should we not be so aggressive early on in the fight? You know what I'm saying? When he's up against the ropes, you know what I'm saying? You're able to have some success with pushing him back. Should you change it up a little bit instead of just rushing in and he was timing you immediately with that uppercut? Should you do something more except, stick the jab more to the body? Be patient like Dimitri Bivol was with Canelo. Canelo was up against the rope and Bivol just took his time, very patient, very methodical how he chose to, pick Canelo apart. He just didn't rush in like Spence was doing Crawford. Spence's mind was, this is exactly what we watched on film for him to do. So when he started to come in close distance, that counter shot was already there. And then when he dropped him with a freaking jab, it was just embarrassing. But it wasn't embarrassing to Crawford. Then on the other hand, it was embarrassing. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't embarrassing because Crawford even the jab. But it was embarrassing that Crawford actually threw the jab and then ended up sitting this man down. it was a lot of areas that was extremely embarrassing to Errol Spence, but also it ended up being embarrassing to Crawford too, because he made it so easy. Crawford embarrassed a lot of people, starting with Spence's camp and Spence himself. He embarrassed a lot of people that night. He embarrassed the fan base, everything. You know what I'm saying? You may not look at it like that. I get it. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not looking for any co-signing. I'm just saying, like, when they go look at film, he's got to first see which area that he wants to try to come up with a different game plan. He wants to basically review. You know what I'm saying? We need to go back to the drawing board type of deal. Which area? You going to work on the mistakes that Spence made, or you going to work on the ability and success that Crawford displayed against Spence? Do you believe that if you try to correct Spence right now, it's too high of a climb? You know what I'm saying? It's too much of a mental block going on for you to get him to do something different? Or you're just going to say, you know what, I'm going to leave Spence alone because really we don't know if it's broke or not, because, you know, he might have felt some type of way that fight. He wasn't being himself. You know, we need to see what he looked like at 154. You know, Diddy might not come on camera and say that shit. He might have been out here saying, oh, he wasn't weight drained, all that. Cool. But deep down inside, you know what I'm saying, it's some other areas in there where he probably thought, okay, well, Spence is not the best that I think he can be. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he went on there and say, yeah, they was the better team. You know, the coach was this, that, and the other. Okay, got it. But also he remembers the Spence that he trained all the way up to that point, that won those 3 titles. And that same style was able to get through other elite fighters, supposedly. All right? So on that particular day, with the weight cut and everything else, I know Diddy James has to have it on his conscience and say, man, they were still running. You know, he was still running, trying to drop weight. Yeah. I think that had a lot to do with it, but he just don't want to come out and seems like he's making excuses for Spence, because it will bring backlash to him, because he was the guy that really didn't believe that Crawford's record was legitimate. You know what I'm saying? Diddy James wanted to decommission Crawford's resume. He didn't believe it had any type of merit to it. You know what I'm saying? He didn't believe it. So when he goes back and look at this film study, because he has to, because Diddy James is you know, with his rematches is pretty decent now. But what rematch are we looking at with Spence now? We can only talk about rematches that he had with freaking Jermell Charlo. We haven't seen too many other fighters he worked with to deal with rematches. He don't get credit for Joshua rematches. You wasn't around, bro. You know what I'm saying? You wasn't around when he fought Usyk. You know what I'm saying? You wasn't around when he fought Ruiz. So we got to see that the third time is a little bit better, because you're going to have to pick and choose whether I want to try to dig in and polish up some areas with Spence, or I want to teach from this side on what I saw with Crawford that was actually absolutely detrimental to the entire fight. Spence was knocked down several times. They might have to go through and use preventative measures in the rematch, and what he chooses to teach Spence to avoid those knockdowns, those early knockdowns, to avoid himself getting into trouble like that. He may need to, instead of making a drastic change to Spence's freaking skill set, maybe it just needs to be the timing, his timing. Jab a little more. Don't try to use the double jab and come in with the hard left. Maybe you need to be more patient with your timing. Jab, because they say you got the most educated jab. So being that you understood and you felt freaking Crawford's jab, maybe Errol Spence needs to work on setting the jab up more. You know, just using it more effectively. I'm not saying be predictable, but get the stick working and keep your distance and try to see, can you get past the second and third round without sitting on the canvas. Put yourself in a situation where you jab, 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 jab and try to get Crawford to think that, okay, now he's going to play it a little bit more safeguarded. He's going to work behind the jab a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? Kind of, you know how they say get somebody, the war on the sleep a little bit, put the jab out there and then try to start to load the overhand left. Because he landed the overhand left a couple of times. I'm just trying to put some areas out there that will make this fight more competitive. I laughed so much in the first fight. It was laughter of joy. You know what I'm saying? It was so joyful. Their pain was my joy. You know what I'm saying? It was so joyful. I'm not gonna lie, it was so joyful, to see that performance play out the way it did. Now I'm looking at it from a standpoint that I really want it to be a more competitive fight in the rematch, because now we eliminate all the damn excuses, all the lies and false accusations, the smear campaigns. I wanted to be much more freaking, competitive. Shout out to Dr. Paul, man. Salute to you. One love, brother. Hope all is well with you and the missus and the fam, man. Bomac said he need to fix his mistakes. Yeah, for sure. Excuse my typing on driving, use voice text. It's working okay, but not perfect. No doubt, for sure. Big shout out to you, man. Appreciate you pulling up, man. Everybody that's in the chat. Jessica, man, he having a better chance of reprogramming the clone. See, I'm trying to keep it like we in December, right, Jessica? And like yourself, I'm pretty sure you're trying to, stay in the holiday spirit. I'm trying. I'm trying to just stay in the holiday spirit. I'm not trying to really go down memory lane. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking. I'm gonna spit a little hot grease today, but that's about it. But really, with me, I'm just asking myself, right? I'm just pondering the thought. Why can't we get a date about this fight? Why did? Hold on for a second. Why did Diddy James? I'm about to let you listen to this. All right, hold on for a second. Okay, here's Diddy James. All right, pay attention to this right here.
Man, Earl Spence, we keep hearing the rematch clause. I talked to Terrence last week. He said, they're still negotiating weight, things like that. I know it's I was going to say, no, it's not really your thing, but is Earl back in the gym? Is he kind of working things out?
He's not back in the gym, but he's back on, his mind is right. So it matters.
And just, I know we cleared it up before, but those rumors about him leaving you, is that just all nonsense?
Talk, man. I'm not talking about it. What are you talking about?
I know Anthony Joshua, man, Earl Spence.
So that's Diddy James right there with another, oh my God, memorable interview. Memorable. Every time I listen to one of his interviews, it takes me back to my childhood, right? Where at that point in time, we was dealing with tube socks a lot. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the income wasn't really there, but, Pops was looking at 5 kids that he chose to make on Valentine's Day, or whenever he got, a big check, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Because he wasn't a drinker or a smoker, so it has to be some other stuff that was getting him hyped up. But he was popping out some gigs though. Shit. Pops was a lover. But anyway, as I think about it, listen to Diddy James talk all the time. It just takes me back to a kid where I didn't have social media. I didn't have too many channels on TV. So you had to make time with what you had. And as a kid, I'm talking about before I was a teenager, of course. I wouldn't dare take credit for doing this as a teenager. But I used to grab some socks and draw some little, shit on there and treat the socks like they was people. Every time I hear Diddy James talk, it take me back to when I put them socks on my hand and I had two freaking sockos and they was having a conversation with one another. And and of course, one socko was, much more meaner than the other one. And then I remember when I used to just grab some other socks and stuff them in the other, socko's mouth and shit and act like he was trying to talk with socks in his mouth. That's kind of what I get from Diddy, because every time he's asked a tough question like, well, from what was rumored is that Errol was leaving. You know what I'm saying? He automatically emote on the man. He don't want to talk about it. And you remember, I mentioned that initially off the rip. I said Spence should definitely think about parting ways with Diddy James and go elsewhere. And then, he went over to the UK. You know what I'm saying? But right now, it's pretty much that he says mine's right. So check this out. If Spence's mind is right, why isn't he back in the gym? Don't he have a rematch coming up? Or we looking at February and we're going to say December is 4 weeks. January is 4 weeks. So that put us right back where it was before, that he has like 8 weeks to get ready. And he has less weight to cut. So he's just going to tiptoe on those 8 weeks. I'll be highly shocked that the fight is going to be February. I don't know. I'm just not hearing anything. And also, when it boils down to making this fight happen, I thought the delay was how much Spence was beat up, how much damage he sustained in that fight. And, people was kind of concerned about the damage that he took, right? That's what I thought it was initially. Like, they was concerned about the damage. Well, he's not fighting in December this year, so of course he's heading into 2024, and the fight's supposed to be in the next year. Shouldn't we know some information already? Why can't you tell us? It's a rematch, for Christ's sake. Why can't we know already when the fight is happening, where it's happening, so people can start planning if they choose to attend? What is all this secrecy, bro? What is all this, delay? Like, y'all don't have a broadcast yet? All this rumor mill coming out. Yeah, we're going to be sick. It's going to be Amazon. If it's Amazon Video, announce it. One Championship is already on Amazon for 5-year deal, bro. 12 fights a year. What's the big deal about freaking PBC? They ain't the first combat sports to do it. One Championship has been thriving and putting on shows since last year, bro. Why don't y'all just announce, okay, we were Amazon Prime because it's been out there already, and then let's get a date for this fight. Because truth be told, man, I would be disappointed if Spence returned with Diddy James. I'd be seriously disappointed in Spence. Just because I talk about public record doesn't mean I'm disappointed in him. I'm disappointed in what he was doing outside the ropes that affected his career and caused his fans to be who they are. That's what I'm disappointed in. But really, I'm like, if you really want to make it competitive and basically say, okay, I have to improvise, I have to adapt, and I have to find another trainer, another group of eyes to overcome what happened on July 29th. I mean, like, so many people was talking about it. So of course his place of solace is to stay far away from the media as possible. I get it. You know what I'm saying? I get it, bro. That's your place of solace, You ain't trying to go in and towards the mayhem and tyranny. You trying to stay far away on and be on that ranch and talk to the horses, and so y'all can be one with one another. I get it, but the fans out here, his fans, Crawford fans, we really want to know like what's up, man. Like, can y'all drop a date just so we can start talking about the rematch? Because, I see some of his people that really hit rock bottom on July 29th. You hear people starting to bring out the old shark, the shark revenge, and all this other shit. Listen, bro. A shark that was mistreated like Crawford did Spence, they definitely swim in other areas of the ocean than they did before. You know what I'm saying? They go over there to the areas where them big ass koi fish that was released into the wild, they go over there where they at. They go over there and swim with unlike killers. They don't swim around in the same region before with the big dogs, with the barracudas, the dolphins, the orcas. They go somewhere and hide the fuck out if they got thrashed like that. And most of the time, if a shark get thrashed like that by another fish, they ain't living to swim away from it, especially if it's an orca, a killer whale. Nah, that's not it. But all honesty, I really want this to be a more competitive fight than the first, just because I want the conversation to be different. I want to have a different conversation with these cats. I want the debates to go back up. I do. I miss having reactions to those bogus debates. I miss it, man. Seriously. You know what I'm saying? I just miss telling them, just trying to explain how you can correct those bogus debates and have some freaking integrity in that. But people didn't want to listen. I want to hear the debates the way they used to be, because we really don't have debates like Crawford and Spence often. Like I said before, Crawford changed the lives of a lot of people when he went up there and did that to Spence. So all them debates that was out here on the YTC, y'all, it was painful. Like, it was painful to a lot of people. Like I tell you, I go over there and I just I go over there and I just listen to those debates sometimes. I just listen to what Crawford couldn't do, what he can't do, what he won't do, what he couldn't do, what he can't do, what he wouldn't do. And I just laugh. I'm up here sipping. I'm up here. I got a wine glass, right? I'm just sipping on some water. I pour some agua in there and make it seem like it's the most premium wine that I can drink. And I'll just be sipping on that shit like it's good. And like I'm just having a good old goddamn time. And I just listen. I swear to you, in all honesty, y'all, when I listened to everything that was saying what Crawford couldn't do, what Spence was going to do, Spence has been doing this for this amount of time. There's no way Crawford can do this, and this, because Spence is just that guy. He's that dog. He's the boogeyman. He's the monster. He's the big fish. Strap season, the truth. Man, I swear to you, man. If you want some laughs, man, oh my God, man, it's hilarious. Because they put in so much energy. I've listened to it to the point where I can name you the people who was up there saying what they were saying and how they have since just changed. You don't even hear them even giving a peep about Spence, man. But they will talk about Crawford periodically because their conscience is so contaminated right now. You know what I'm saying? It's really no way for them to get away with what that goddamn July 29th virus did to them, right? So they just talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Just to save face, just to, make it seem like they ain't afraid to continue to talk about Crawford, which it don't make any sense because he proved to y'all that, hey, I'm the better fighter and I'm much more dominant. And this is what I was trying to tell y'all before this fight even happened. But you didn't want to listen. You said nobody. I fought nobody. You said I fought nobody. That's what you said. He fought nobody. He fought nobody. But he has 10 straight. He fought nobody. But listen to me. He fought nobody. That's what all they were saying, bro. I ain't lying to you, man. I go back and I listen to these live streams sometimes. It is so funny. Like, to hear people talk with such contentment, bro. Do y'all hear me, chat? To hear people talk with such vigor, dog. Like they was up there knowing. Who's your fault? Blah, 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 blah. La, 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 la. Who's your fault? You know what I'm saying? He ain't fought nobody. He ain't did nothing. And I like how they go back in his resume and name off all the people, you know, and they have something bad to say about him. And Gamboa, oh my God, the flower bed that was cultivated for Gamboa doing these debates, bro. Gamboa must have got up sometimes, right, in his dream, and he looked at that flower bed, and he was like, "Damn, that shit is beautiful." I said, "Amigo, come take a look. Mila, ven aquí. Look at this. It's beautiful." That's what they say about me out there. They always bring my name out of Crawford. Look at this flower bed. Beautiful, multiple colors everywhere. It's just amazing. Oh my God, the scenery is just, it places me in a state of euphoria, y'all. You know what I'm saying? That's what Gamboa was saying in his dream. They was talking about him so much. You know, people were shooting him links and stuff. Hey, they talking about you again in Crawford in these debates. Yes, I know. I hear. Yes, see, I hear. You know, it was so hilarious that Gamboa was getting all the talk. You know, knowing that Crawford had stopped him in the same round that he hurt Crawford. Stopped him. Crawford stopped him. But you never heard a peep. But just to hear Gamboa's name come up so much that they really didn't have an idea of the severity of the outcome that was awaiting them. They didn't understand, you know, when they saw the lightning, they didn't hear the thunder. It was the reason why you was getting that preliminary, you know, Doppler radar. That Doppler radar was giving you lightning without the thunder, bro. Because the thunder was going to roll in on July 29th, bro. That's all. Well, you got a little sprinkles on your freaking forehead. You got the goddamn overcast. You know what I'm saying? You got the goddamn lightning. And you say, damn, that's a lot of lightning, but I don't hear shit. That's because it was awaiting. It was to come July 29th, goddammit. And when the thunder came with the lightning, Jesus Christ. Let me get to this chat, man. Oh my God, bro. This shit was simply unbelievable. I'm up here tapping the Doppler radar. I say, are you serious? That much thunder is coming July 29th? Soo-wee. That's going to be rough. That is going to be rough. It's going to be a lot of people that's out of house and home due to inclement weather. Yes. Look at the eye of it. Look at the eye. And when I seen the eye of the storm, y'all, and it was over there in Omaha, I said, oh my God, this isn't good. This isn't good at all. The eye of the storm was over in Omaha and not Texas, man. I say, this is not good. This is going to be life-changing for a lot of people. Shit, I grew up on 3 TV channels back in the day too. Yes, sir. If I had if I had to do it all over again, I'd go right back to where I was before social media, dog. Because you ain't gonna try to tell me that shit wasn't right. You get to meet, when you went out and met people, you met them for who they were because you knew them off the strength of you know, contact. You know what I'm saying? Seeing them at football games, basketball games, track, all the sports. That's when people used to go out like that. Yeah, for sure. Andrew Charles on deck. What's good? I hope Bud goes into the rematch with a I don't get paid for overtime attitude. Go in there and put Spence out of his misery. I have to be in agreement with you, Andrew. I have to be in absolute agreement. But the way I'm the route I'm taking, Andrew, is I'm trying to build up Errol Spence's freaking his POA there, Andrew. His plan of attack. I'm trying to build that up. I'm trying to inject some type of, can I give you some advice type of shit. The route you should take type of stuff. I'm trying to build him up in that manner to say, well, I hope they look at film. So if it's too difficult to kind of change, Spence's style, what he's really used to, what's etched in his brain, how he's wired as a fighter, then work on certain traps to avoid with Crawford. Work on, those areas that landed you in the worst position you can be in, suffering those early knockdown. You know what I'm saying? Work on mistakes that you made with being a little bit overly rambunctious to get on the inside and bully Crawford to try to land your power shots. Work on that. Because I don't think Spence want to really change up his style. He's used to coming forward and throwing, behind the jab and throwing that left hand and, having success with it. That's all. You know what I'm saying? But I told people, right? I said, when he fought Lamont Peterson, he knocked Lamont Peterson down in the 5th round. And Lamont still went several rounds after that. I say that boy in trouble. Against Crawford. He is in trouble. I didn't care about the Danny Garcia Udinas Ugas because they got the orders. I didn't care about that. Sean Porter, the split decision. Yeah, that was legit. That was a true, legitimate fighter going in there to win. And Errol Spence barely squeaked it out. I knew Crawford. He was gonna change that guy's life, man. Can Spence hold up Bud from getting other fights? Who knows? They're contractually bonded. So I look at it, how can he be holding him up? Because what other fight he's going to get if it's not Canelo, the money he's going to make with Spence? I'm pretty sure they're going to make some pretty decent money. They're probably just waiting on this new deal to come through. You know what I'm saying? And they're going to be at the top of the budget. So I'm pretty sure, they'll be able to get some solid guarantee money in there. And also, once again, some pay-per-view. Now, hearing that Jose Benavidez and Jamal Charlo did 60,000, it's just laughable, dog. I ain't gonna lie, man. That shit was laughable as hell. 60K. Look, dog, 60K, dog. Come on, dog. When I heard those numbers come, I said, "Oh my God!" People made the easiest choice ever. They say, "You know what? Christmas coming up. Ain't about to do that shit right now, man. Fuck that. I'm not doing it. They got me effed up, huh? I'm about to save my money." They like, no. Look, that's just for the co-main event. You know what I'm saying? David Benavidez and Demetrius Andrade. They're like, that's why I'm up here. That's why I did the live the other day about people trying to push Benavidez Canelo. Canelo still don't see that being a big lucrative fight. You know what I'm saying? Even with him beating Andrade, that was something he's supposed to. But they said, nah. The co-main event, nah. The guy haven't been in the ring in 6 years, no. And then, you got Andrade moving up for the first time, trying to do something with this beast. People didn't believe it. They didn't buy into it. Now, you know what I'm saying? People are already seeing that Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence is equally matched up as far as, their height, weight, skill set, so to speak. They just want to see if it's possible. And the only way this is going to go to a trilogy, or if it goes the distance and they call it a draw. That's it. Who thinks this fight potentially may be a draw? Or what Andrew said earlier, hopefully Bud is on, I I don't get paid for overtime, and he goes in there and get this out. You know what I'm saying? Which one do you think may come to fruition? I don't know. I can't really prognosticate how that's gonna play out. I don't know, man, because boxing is very, very sneaky. Like, just think about it. You know, Crawford has goals. You know what I'm saying? He has goals to further addition some more to his legacy before he roll out the sport. He want big money fights, right? Big money fights. If this draw shit happens, and now they at a higher division, it will have to be something so spectacular that happens in the rematch that people wasn't even looking for. And no part of me see Crawford taking the orders to make this fight a more slower pace, a more lethargic, a more soap opera-esque type elevator fight that it's just plain to see that it doesn't have the same tempo as the first fight. And both fighters are just moving around and fighting each other, and then it goes to the scorecards, and it's end up being a draw. Now people say, oh, okay. Or, you know what I'm saying, people would love for it to be Spence who turns around and win. Then people be saying, oh, we need a draw. I mean, we need a trilogy. We need a trilogy. And then the Spence, you know, the ones that abandoned him and shit, they will return bearing gifts. Hey, Errol, I just had so many issues going on with family, you know, being sick and all that. That's the only reason you didn't hear me on social media bigging you up like I did prior to July 29th. But now I'm back. I brought your animals some feed. You know what I'm saying? I really saved up for that. I worked hard, you know. Just saved all my super chats for you there, Errol. So I gave some feed. And also, to be honest with you, I know that guy WCS has said it was strawberry season, but I bought you some strawberries, your favorite. And I bought you a huge, you know what I'm saying? I'm talking about a huge crate of king crab legs. Now, you have to put them in the freezer, though. But, if you know, I bought you a huge crate of king crab legs and fresh homemade butter. That butter is going to, yeah. So I apologize for not being around there, Errol. So his, you know, his friends, his fans who pretty much jumped ship on him, left him behind to drown, they're going to start coming back around if this fight can go the distance, or if somehow a miracle happens, Crawford gets injured, they have to go to the scorecards. And after 6 rounds, we go to the scorecard due to a cut over Terrence Crawford's brow. Judges Keith O'Sullivan, Johnny Morgan, and Jack Sajak all score the fight. For Errol Spence. Man, come on, bro. Come on, man. I hope we don't see no trilogy. I just hope it's just like, you know, more so what Andrew said, that, hey, he don't get paid for overtime and he get in and get out and get on to better things, period. Don't go in there and try to play. We don't need to see no trilogy between y'all because, you know, y'all got a history together, so let's make money. I get making money together. But in order for them to make money together, and y'all know it well as I do, in order for them to make money together a third time, Crawford will have to become an actor. I understand he was in Creed and everything, but he wasn't in the ring taking you know, those scenes from Jonathan Majors now. If there was Crawford in there as a heavyweight, I'll say, look at this. And I saw Michael B. Jordan there. I say, hey, Mike, let me holler at you right quick. And shout out to Michael B. Jordan. Got mad respect for him, man. You know what I'm saying? Because he was trying to make it out the arena. Everybody's trying to get a pick. I say, hey, Michael, can I get a pick for you? Can I get a pick with you before you go? He said, yeah, walk with me. I walked with him, boom, took a pic, and that's it. But anyway, I would say, Michael, you know damn well Terrence ain't no goddamn heavyweight, bro. You know damn well he ain't no heavyweight. And then Benavidez ain't no freaking heavyweight. Now if you would have had David in there, then I would say, okay, now he fits the bill. But we're looking at Andre Ward, Tony Bellew. You know what I'm saying? We're looking at some cats that can actually go for heavyweight. But Jose Benavidez though, I could see if Crawford, was in there fighting Jonathan Majors a heavyweight. You know what I'm saying? Then I'll say, okay, he's putting on his acting goggles. You know what I'm saying? He's putting his acting, behavior, his acting skills, and he's going in there to make this fight look interesting. Just like Danny Garcia did with freaking Spence. But see, I don't ever see Terrence Crawford doing something like that, getting beat up like DSG said. But with boxing, you'd be amazed, like, a lot of what we see, it's not too much going on in boxing. So if you can make money with the right person, you know what I'm saying? They're dance partners right now because, people was hyping them up for 5 years, right? If anything different comes out of the result, I will automatically assume that's what it is. They're going to go for a third fight just because people are now attached to these guys for a trilogy, just like they were with Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury. They attached. They wasn't too attached for Canelo Alvarez and Gennady Golovkin. You know why? Because Canelo waited too long to fight the man in a trilogy. Like 7 fights after the rematch to face this man again, yo. People ain't look. They was wondering if Gennady was gonna make it out the rocking chair, man. They was wondering. They had to give a man smelling salt to goddamn make it and tell him the news so he can understand it. Hey, Gennady, you got a trilogy with Canelo. Yes, I remember fighting him the first time. And I felt I won that fight. Oh, my God. You know what I'm saying? I mean, come on, bro. They will have to have this rematch somewhat in the same time frame or less than Wilder and Fury after their rematch. And I don't know why I'm even talking about a rematch because I'm just, I'm just putting conversation out there. Because it's December, bro. It's the last month of the year. Ain't too much going on. We got Ryan Garcia and Oscar Duarte tomorrow. Come on, chill. But yeah, that's the way I see it, bro. If they move around in the rematch a little bit and dance, and they make the fight close or something, or somebody get something happen in the fight where it has to be stopped from a cut, and they have Spence up on the scorecards, that's the only way I can see a trilogy. It has to do with controversy. And boxing love that motherfucking controversy, y'all. They love coming up with a goddamn conclusion that's so climactic that'll have people second guess what they just seen. Let me see. Did this shit? No, for real. Is there any way that can genuinely happen? Let me see. No, yeah. You look, no, it can't. Yeah. They ever have motherfuckers go, they say, no, yeah, no, yeah. You know what I'm saying? They have them keep going back and forth based off what they actually seen. Like, no. It's no way this can happen like that. Did he really? Was he ahead on the scorecards, bro? No, man. We had Crawford 5-1. Damn. Hey, boxing will give you the controversy when you expected it. Not when you least expect it, but when you absolutely expect it to be controversy. Why? Because it's a fucking business, bro. And they will always give you that shock value that you're looking for, and you can't do anything about it. People sit up here and say, there's no way that he was ahead on the scorecards when the fight was stopped. That's messed up. They, people come back, do live streams, be all mad and stuff like that. We be up here talking shit, and all of a sudden you hear a third. Oh, a trilogy. That's weird. Now a trilogy is happening. But the only part I like about a trilogy is that they get to make money with each other again. That's it. Do I really care about a trilogy? No. I really want to see Crawford fight the biggest fight of boxing. That's him and Canelo. That's what I want to see. I really don't want to see him and Jermell Charlo. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to see him and Tim Tszyu. You know what I'm saying? I just don't want to see none of that. I don't want to see him and Jamal Charlo. I don't want to see none of that. Period. I don't. Because I believe he beats Jamel Charlo easily. He outboxes the shit out of him. You know what I'm saying? He outboxes him and give him a freaking clinic. Yes. It's a part of me that believes that Jamel Charlo, you know what I'm saying, he finds that to be too big of a hurdle. Now, Crawford's been a man to make his own decisions. Now, I can be way off. Crawford may come in there and say, you know what? I'll fight him for those 2 belts he got. I'll fight him for the WBC and the WBA. Why not? I'll fight him. Now you got Jamel Charlo coming off of Canelo, but I can see if he went the distance with Canelo, right, and he looked great. Like, even in a losing effort, he tried his best. Like, what I say about Jose Benavidez. Jose lost to Jamal Charlo, but he showed toughness, grit, right? If Jamel would have shown that against Charlo, man, and Canelo wouldn't been up there trying to damn question our, you know what I'm saying, intelligence with that fake ass damn shit he was doing. You got too high of a boxing IQ to be loading up on punches like that, and you went for Charlo's head, yo. And dude just slipped underneath and reset. Come on, bro. Like your body attack wasn't even present. You know you could have stopped Jamal Charlo going to the body all day long. But we know he carried him because he was undisputed. You know what I'm saying? A unified at super middleweight. And it wouldn't look good for him getting fights if Canelo go in there and flatline him. It wouldn't look good. You know what I'm saying? It wouldn't even look good if he TKO'd him. But he let Charlo go the distance to basically give him life, to keep him relevant enough at 154-pound division. You know what I'm saying? They spared him. That's all. Swimming with Nemo. What's going on? Big Blunts and Boxing the Goat on deck. What's good with the blunts? When an orca kills a great white, all the others for hundreds of miles around flee. Hey, man, them killer whales ain't no joke. I don't know why people don't put them on their body. Them some savage hunters right there. Look, the formation that they use to dislodge those sea lions off them ice. Man, come on, that's brilliant. And how they just sit up here and just raise their head out of the water. Hey, how you doing, buddy? Hey, we're just gonna let you sit up there just a little bit. And just make sure you look left or right and try to look 360 because we're coming to have lunch. We're here for one reason only, to have lunch. We're hungry. So just sit up there. We'll be back. Before they know it, 3 of them come up there, splash their tail, bang. That sea lion's in the water. Man, come on. Brilliant hunters. Very cerebral. Just the facts on the best block. That was a pretty solid card too. Only do 60K. Streamers ain't. Yeah, I agree. You know, we're in the era right now where no one really has the ironclad plan on how to make money. Like, that's why these boxers have to find their own lane and how to get sponsorship first to make that money, and then try to build up your Wall Street in boxing. You know what I'm saying? You got to find a way to build up your Wall Street in boxing, man, that people want to come see you. For that card, they do 60K, and it was a pretty damn card, like that person said. Like, yeah, it was damn good. I ain't gonna lie, this shit was good, man. Vito Malnicki went in there and stopped Salazar in the first round. Like, god damn, bro. You know what I'm saying? Lamont Roach going up in there doing his thing. Man, that joint shit was crazy, bro. I'm also one of the 20 people who paid the Ruiz-Ortiz fight. So what do I know? Yeah, you got some people up here that the reason why they can't really spend money on pay-per-view because that money is going to healthcare. That money is going to them taking care of business on everyday lives, man. Car insurance, dental. You know, I mean, look, YouTube don't give you a dental plan, bro. There's a lot that it doesn't give you when it comes to benefits, bro. I'm just saying. I hope this whole time Spence been studying southpaws and working with the southpaw specialist and working on his defense. Yeah. But check this out though. He can study a southpaw, and then you're talking about the freaking mad scientist in Bomac. He might come out there and have Crawford starting off unorthodox, man, and give Spence a different look just to prove to the people I can beat him in either style. It's all about the damn homework. You think Crawford ain't on that type of time? Come on, dude's on that savage time, dog. He might come out there and fight freaking orthodox, man. The whole fight. Who waits till the last minute and say, hey, man, question, what style should I fight Spence in? Fight him in southpaw, dog. All right, cool. And goes out there and dominates. But see, Blunts, they need to find something different, though. They need to find that hidden book that has the lock on it. They need to find that. The book of secrets. Because he just can't go out there and study for a southpaw, bro. He has to find the book with the lock on it to study with the Crawford. How to break the Crawford paw. The crawfish paw. You know what I'm saying? How to break the code of Omaha Monster. You need to find the book with the lock on it. That's all. Because just going out there for an average southpaw ain't gonna cut it. We're talking about a guy who they say that haven't even shown all his skills before. So you need to find the secret book. You know what I'm saying? You have to go on like a little fairy tale journey there, Big Blunts. You need to goddamn put some Harry Potter magic to that. You need to somehow, some way find, a wizard. They gotta find a wizard, Blunts. They have to go to the wizard. They have to request from the wizard to how do they locate this book, this secret book that has never been opened to now. They need to find out a way now. They need to find out a way. You just can't go fight any southpaw. You can't go out there looking and say, okay, teach me how to, go against southpaw. You need to find the one that says Bud Crawford on it. And I don't know where you can find that. You might have to go to the wizard, the wonderful, wonderful wizard. For real. They might have to get a couple of their friends to play the Tin Man, the Scarecrow and the Lion, goddammit. But, you know what I'm saying? They have to switch Dorothy out for a male. Real talk. They have to switch her out for a male. And they need to go on the motherfucking journey and try to get that book. You don't see Bud thinking about no trilogy because he is too competitive. I agree. Real talk. But, it's just conversation, man. Like, people always tell me, man, I'm, being too serious. No, that's a lie. You know what I'm saying? I got to cut down on the ad-libbing sometimes because people, they feel it. They don't like it. They want to reassign it. You know what I'm saying? They want to do other things. I don't ad-lib all the time. You know what I'm saying? But you got people to get butthurt over it. But I'm just saying, like, I agree. I don't see Bud being on that time to prove to the people that he want to fight a trilogy. No. Now he's making it hard on himself. He said, I want to spend my final windows of opportunity. I want to go in here and make money. And that's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to do. Real talk. I'm going to go out here and make millions. This man is having a mansion built. You know what I'm saying? So he's trying to make more money to put in to that and other investments he got. I feel you. You know what I'm saying? I feel you, bro. A Hall of Fame conclusion. You know what I'm saying? That's what he wants. Just imagine retire. You know how many pro Spence fans, they're gonna go to hospice care, 15 years ahead of the time when they supposed to actually go, all because they never recovered from Crawford ending the career of Spence and then retiring undefeated. You know what how much damage that's gonna do to them, dog. Come on, man. I can't tell you. I can't tell you enough. It's gonna be bad, bro. It's gonna be extremely bad. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Crawford go over there and do that again. A lot of these cats gonna be in hospice care, goddamn, when they about 56, 57 years old, bro. And for a lot of them, that ain't too far away. They right there, bro. They right there. They gonna be right there. Seriously, real talk. They never gonna recover. If he retires undefeated, oh, it's over. It's over, man. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna let their house go in foreclosure, or let their car that they sleeping in since July 30th. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna let that go into repossession, and they're just gonna say, "F it, man. I'm going homeless. I'm done. I'm done, bro. I gotta get up out of here. I'm done." I hope this whole time, let me put this up there. I don't think I put that up there. What Blunt said, I hope this whole time, you know what I'm saying, Spence been studying for Southpaws. I just hope this whole time he's been maintaining his weight. If he's in the process of studying Southpaws, I just hope the person who he's studying with is not the name Diddy James. You know what I'm saying? I hope it's somebody who's willing to pick out those those areas. But then, when I think about Diddy James being part of the blame, then I look at Spence too. I'm saying, do he like looking at film? You know what I'm saying? Do he really appreciate looking at film like that? Do he even care? Because leading up to that point, it wasn't broken to him, so he didn't try to fix it. So do he really like looking at film? I don't know. To be honest with you, I don't know. I can't call it. I can't call it, bro. I don't know. I don't know if he likes it or not. Just imagine Diddy James not really being on board with watching film, and Errol Spence really not being on board with watching film. You know what I'm saying? So you take that tandem and how far they've been able to be successful in the fight game, and then they finally hit that brick wall. What's going to motivate them to go and do something that they have to train themselves to do? Like, I know people are going to listen to me and say, well, that's stupid, because if he's gotten to the level of the pound for pound list and won the titles, he has to have some boxing intelligence and smarts. He has to have some type of etiquette in the sport to look at film. That's not necessarily true. His mentality of Danny Garcia wasn't to look at film like that. He said he knew, not being 100%, that he could still go in there and beat Danny Garcia up. He knew that. And that's a person that's pretty much driving his motivation off ego and being confident in himself as a forward pressure fighter. You know what I'm saying? That's how the mentality he went in there with Danny Garcia. But just imagine, now you get to a fighter like Crawford, who made it look so easy with y'all, to the point where everybody was saying that, hey, your coach need to look at film. Because this is where they're going to continue to, select Derrick James, because he's the trainer, right? He's the main person. He's the chief. But also, you got to put some concern into Spence. Does he like looking at film? Is he willing to look at the fight over and over again to try to come up and determine where, his discrepancies lie, the errors that he made, and how he should fix them heading into the rematch? Is he motivated to even look at the fight? Maybe he don't want to look at the fight, because he looked very, very bad in the fight. He remembered the fight, bro. What if he don't even want to look at the fight? What if he really hasn't been on board to look at film, period? You can be a boxer all day long, but when it comes time for you studying the fighter because you have to, that takes a lot of energy. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to do some self-reflection and say, now, at this point, I got to basically dive into something that I was supposed to be doing early on in my career. You trying to tell me I got to study the game now? I need to really buckle up and film study? Nah, nigga, nah. I am a 3-time world champion, dude. Man, I can figure this out in the ring, man. I don't want to look at this shit, man. I ain't gonna lie. I don't want to look at this. He got to train themselves to go in there and look at film and try to derive options in the rematch and how they want to beat Crawford. That takes patience. You know what I'm saying? That takes a different level of patience, bro. You gotta have the type of patience that you're willing to learn doing that. You say, I'm willing to sit here, be patient, listen, come up with ideas, know what I'm looking at, be willing to look at what I did wrong and what Crawford did right. Several times during that fight, I got to be willing to take what? Self-criticism. I got to be able to take constructive criticism. If he ain't willing to take constructive criticism and go back in the lab and try to improve that shit with Crawford, it's going to look even worse when they finally freaking touch gloves again. Because if he goes in there and try to do the same shit at a higher weight just to test the waters, man, it's going to be over, bro. The referee is going to come save you again. Period. But hey, y'all hold it down, man. Shout out to the hottest chat in the MFing game. Appreciate y'all for tuning in once again. You know what I'm saying? It's always a pleasure kicking it with the chat. Continue to support and hit the like button on your way out. You know what I'm saying? Hit the like button on your way out. Got like 19 likes in here. Show some love if you choose to. And I'll check in next time. I'm out. Peace.
Left jab, uppercut, leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss, now you counting stars. Should've practiced more, should've hit the mask, get out there more. Claim that you're the best, you gotta show me, son. Actions over words, baby boy, is you real or what? Talking way too much, world come back. Sports, talking way too much, world come back. Sports, talking way too much, world come back.